What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's Power Up. Really excited to introduce you to Darren LaCour. Darren and Chauncey, we were just chatting before we hit record, and they've been friends for like, was it 25 years, something like that? And Darren is kind of, it's interesting because he's a super successful real estate investor, but that was not his primary gig. His primary gig was actually he was in a biology major and then started his career in doing clinical trials. And wouldn't you know, ended up making some good money doing that and needed a place to park that money. So got into buying real estate assets and then teaching other people how to do that. So it's kind of the 1-2 punch where, you know, he can show you not only if you're a super smart, you know, senior in college getting ready to get into the job market, he actually has job openings for people like you. And we're working on developing a course for him to teach you how to get into clinical trials and then possibly even place you in a job and then possibly even coach you into how to make, take your cash and turn it into real estate assets. So, man, it's a loaded thing, but I'm excited for this Power Up and we get to hear from Darren. So, Darren, tell us a little bit about your kind of what you do. And I mean, this is super exciting.
Yeah, my day job and my business is clinical trials, and there's a formula to running a trial from start to finish. And I've rose through the ranks, from an associate to director, and ultimately in my business, I'm the head of clinical research for Ology Universal Research Solutions. But along that way, working in pharma companies, medical device companies, typically there's an opportunity to get bonuses and things like that. And one of the things that I learned as I've matured as a man with a family is if you got money in the bank, one, you're losing money on it, especially with this inflation that we've been dealing with these last few years. But, my problem was, we would spend it, we went and, there's good debt, there's bad debt. And, when, maybe we're paying off some bad debt or maybe we're doing another family vacation. I don't know, but the money would go in and come back out. So, what I stepped into was I need to tie my money up. I need to tie my money up into real assets. And thankfully, I found out about real estate investing. And, Robert Kiyosaki, he kind of says it best. You get into business to buy real estate, whether you're buying the office that you're operating out of, or you actually take that money and diversify it into other asset classes like buy and hold. Some people do flips. I'm really focused on buy and hold. And, I've been pretty successful. Between 2018 and just here recently, probably about 3 months ago, I've bought 10 doors. It's like when and how does that happen? I went from living in California and looking at all of the real estate prices shooting up and, trying to figure out how in the heck am I going to get a 20% down payment on a, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 house, to where, once I started real estate investing, I learned all of these new tools, and I actually bought my first investment property before I bought my first primary residence. And, thankfully I encountered all of the learnings that I have, and I'm excited to connect people to, you can figure it out. I figured it out, but you absolutely accelerate anything that you're doing if you've got somebody who's been there and done it before, and they can kind of guide you. And if you're the type of person that does figure it out and gets it going, my God, you got to get connected to somebody.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about some serious like coaching. I mean, this is like we call those mountain guides, people that have been up the mountain, people that have been where you want to go. And the kind of experience that you've got, it's kind of similar. Chauncey, we did this course with Chauncey for his government contracting because he figured it out. Like he kind of like cut the trail to government contracting and figuring out how to communicate it in a simple way. You're kind of doing the same thing where you're kind of cutting the trail for, hey, there's opportunity for you And I like the way you said that. It's like we're not just like, if you want to make money, I guess it's Robert Kiyosaki. You want to be, the reason people get into business is to make money so that they can get into real estate, because that's where the real money's at. So so you may not be in a clinical, you listening may not be into clinical trials or whatever. You may be into something totally different, but the principle's still the same. Get into business, generate some cash, and then tie that cash up into real estate. And Darren, you can show them how to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And, I'm fortunate enough to have gotten started pre-pandemic and seen some historic inflation. But, while most people are, kind of feeling the pain, and I'm feeling the pain at the pump, I'm feeling the pain when I'm buying bread, milk, and eggs. But at the same time, I know that on the other side of things, some of the purchases that I made are feeling the glory of inflation, and that money is going to come into play. It's going to be very important. Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets, he tells this story about how he bought this fourplex for his daughter. I actually got a chance to meet him like randomly in Dallas. That's another story. But this guy, he bought this fourplex for his daughter for, X number of dollars, and it's appreciated a bunch. He put it on a 15-year note, and sure enough, when his daughter's ready to go to college, either she can sell it, take the cash, pay for college, or if she's got scholarships or other things are going on in life, she's got the opportunity to manage an asset. You can pass that asset on. So, there's just so many different benefits to where if you, take the leap of faith, sweat it out. I've gotten calls from tenants and stuff today. I manage my own properties. There's so many tools out there for that nowadays where, 20 years ago, actually probably 25 years ago, this is another one of those villain stories that are probably not, maybe, where some people can be your protagonist or antagonist. My mom, she was passed down some houses in Oakland, California. And the lawyer that was handling it, he figured out a way. I'll sell it, and he put the cash in her pocket, right? And you wouldn't have imagined managing a rental property from Shreveport, Louisiana, in Oakland. You don't know anything about it, but nowadays with the technology that we have, we still look at those two properties that she sold, and I think they appreciated to 800,000 and like 600,000, and my grandfather owned them free and clear, over 25 years ago, and she didn't get anything close to that, And so long story short, all of these different things kind of fuel my curiosity, into, how and why you hold on to these things, and your children, your grandchildren, they can potentially benefit from it.
Yeah. Chauncey, do you have, I want to hear you chime in. Do you have any thoughts or questions you want to add to this?
No, man, I am crazy ecstatic about the opportunity that is before all of us, man. I'm elated that Darren is a part of the network, and he is, pouring out his blood, sweat, and tears in a way that is going to help so many more people, not just his direct legacy, but, people who connect with this network, people who buy in, people who want to make these changes. I'm here for the energy. I'm here for the level up, the transition, the access that is happening. So no, I ain't got no questions for Darren. I'm pumped that we rocking and rolling and moving this thing forward, and I'm excited for all the people, the lives, the families that'll be touched, by his work. So thanks, bro.
Keep your eyes peeled for this amazing course that we're working on. Maybe even by the time you're listening to this or watching this video, the course is already live. Bridge-builders.co. If you're not already signed up, most of you probably already are, because that's how you're listening to this Power Up. But if you somehow got access to this call and you're not a member yet, go to bridge-builders.co and sign up and become a member. You get access to courses like this one that we're working on with Darren and like Chauncey and many others. And this is the kind of high-level stuff, coaching and encouragement that we want to give you guys and bring to you on a week-by-week basis, and also getting involved in our Slack communities and, getting into the trenches and sharing experiences, sharing stories, solving problems together. All ships rise. When the tide waters come in, all ships rise. So that's what we're here to do. We're what do we say? Building bridges, changing lives. Thanks for joining us this week, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.